In this screencast, I want to demonstrate the thinking process called being incremental and iterative. What this means is rather than try and make your whole program at one time, work on one small part, get it perfect, and then expand it and apply it to anywhere it applies to before moving on to the next. So in this case, I've got a simple series of blocks, a sequence here that I've used to make my cat move to the right. Now, one of the things I'm finding is that the sound is annoyingly loud. So I'm going to go in here to Sounds, and I'm going to select the whole thing. I'm going to go down here to Effects. I'm just going to make it softer. So I've made that much less of an annoying sound. Now, I could go ahead, and if I really liked this, the next step would be to duplicate it, and I can now you change that to left arrow and point in direction left. And now when I do that, it goes that way. And I could continue to do the same thing and for up and down. So what I did, the reason this is incremental and iterative, is I first perfected what I wanted to do with going one direction before I tried to do the other directions, rather than doing them all at the same time. Now, one of the things I find really annoying here is that I have to push the key every time. So from looking at other people's programs in Scratch, I've noticed that a lot of people actually do something different, because if I was to put a forever block around this, that means that when I press the right key, it should keep going without me having to press all the time. The trouble is that it never stops. So what I can do instead is I can put that forever loop here and have that loop start and run in the background all the time when the green flag is clicked. And I'm going to go get what's called a conditional statement, and there'll be more on that in the conditional statements instructions. And then I can go up here to sensing, and I can make this conditional statement true if the right arrow is pressed. And so now I'm just going to duplicate this block of text here, stick it in there. And now one thing I'm going to do is just move this block away from here so that it's not going to also run. That way I make sure this is working. So now when I click on the green flag, if I press this side here, it will keep going as long as the key is pressed. I don't have to keep pressing the key. So I like that better. So what I've done is this is a new iteration of my idea, a new try. I like it better than my old idea, so I'm going to delete it. And I could play around with this some more. I could maybe put a wait in here for maybe 0.1 of a second just to slow things down a little bit. Let's try that. Okay, I quite like that. So now what I can do is I can duplicate that, and I can put that in there, and I'm going to change it to left arrow, point it left, and etc. Now there are other ways to move sprites using changes to the X and Y coordinates, but I won't show you how to do that. But if you can figure that out, that opens up even some more avenues for how you can move sprites around the screen.